Good afternoon, students. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get started. Last class we were discussing about the phasor diagram and I explained it for two concepts, right? What were the two concepts that we saw? What will happen when an AC source is connected across a resistor and a capacitor, right? So I hope you guys remember this. So AC circuit containing only a capacitor, right? Can someone confirm, did we complete this topic? So the value of current that comes out is I is equal to I naught sine omega t plus pi by 2 when the input EMF that we give is E naught sine of omega t. So when you try to draw the phasor diagram for this, when you draw the phasor diagram for this x-axis and y-axis, we'll be able to understand that E makes an angle omega t with the x-axis and I makes an angle omega t plus pi by 2 with the x-axis. Okay, so this equation is E naught sine omega t and this expression is I naught sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Okay. So the phase difference between them is pi by 2 and last class I would have explained that current dash the voltage by pi by 2. What will you write? Current will? There are two words, leads or lags.
Leads the voltage.
Very good. So current leads the voltage by pi by 2. Okay, or you can say the voltage lags the current by pi by 2. Okay. So having these two factors in mind, I would have told one more point also. What is it? So there is a parameter called as XC. What is XC? It is called as, check your notes and tell me. It is called as capacitive It's called as capacitive reactance. Did I explain about this or not?
You said reactance or capacitor?
Yeah, capacitive reactance or reactance of capacitor, both are same. So XC is called as capacitive reactance or the reactance. Reactance means the resistance offered by a capacitor or inductor. Okay, so reactance is a term used when you have a capacitor or inductor. So if it is a capacitor, we call it as capacitive reactance. If it is an inductor, we call it as inductive reactance. So what is the value of XC, guys? XC is equal to 1 divided by omega C. Right? This will also be equal to 1 divided by 2 pi f into C. I hope you remember this. Right? So XC is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi f into C. So when you plot the graph for XC and the frequency, you can observe that the graph will be a decreasing curve like this. So XC stands for capacitive reactance, F stands for the frequency of the input. Okay, when you try to plot the graph, they'll look like this. And remember one point, since for DC source, F is equal to 0, what is going to be the value of XC? Since for direct current, F is equal to 0, XC will be infinite. So from this, you can conclude that a capacitor will block DC. Okay. So capacitor does not allow DC to pass through it. Rather, it allows only AC to pass through it. Please make a note of this point. Capacitor blocks DC. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So write down the next heading as AC source connected across an inductor. AC source connected across an inductor. Okay. So let's say you have only inductor across which there is an AC source that is connected. Then we know the fact that due to this alternating voltage, there will be a change in flux taking place across this inductor. So what will happen? There will be a change in flux taking place across this inductor, as a result of which there will be a back EMF that will get generated. Right? So these are all the steps that are going to happen is change in flux. Due to the change in flux, there will be a back EMF that will get generated, and the net EMF across the circuit is going to be E minus E back. When I write E back, it is understood as back EMF is equal to the current flowing across the device into the resistance. So what I did is I applied V is equal to IR. So E minus E back is equal to I into R. Okay. So I put a minus sign here because we know the fact from Lenz's law that the EMF will get induced in such a way that it will always try to oppose the cause. So when this flux is trying to change in one direction, the back EMF will get generated in such a way that it will try to oppose the effect. So E minus E back is equal to I into R. So what I can write here is E minus E back is L into di divided by dt is equal to I into the resistance of the circuit is going to be a 0. Okay. So when the resistance is going to be 0, I will write it in this way. Are you able to understand, guys? So one small change to be made is the back EMF is minus L into di divided by dt. So sorry, wait. The minus sign is already included. Yeah. So E minus L into di by dt is equal to I into 0. So what will happen is E will be equal to L into di divided by dt. So what is the value of EMF, guys? Wait. For you guys to understand better, observe. So there is an inductor, and across this inductor, there is an EMF source that is connected. And this is L. Okay. So E minus E back is equal to I into R. So this is equal to 0. So E minus L into di divided by dt is equal to 0. So what is the value of EMF? EMF is equal to L into di by dt. So what is the value of EMF, guys? It is E naught sine omega t is equal to L into di by dt, which implies di is equal to E naught divided by L into sine of omega t dt. Okay. Now, if I integrate on both the sides, I get I is equal to E naught divided by L into sine of omega t's integral is minus cos omega t, the whole divided by omega. Okay. Then I will be equal to E naught divided by omega L into minus cos omega t. So please make a note till this point. Done? Listen. So I will be equal to E naught divided by, in the place of omega L, I can write it as XL, where XL is called as the inductive reactance. Okay, it is called as the inductive reactance, and minus cos omega t can be written as sine of omega t minus pi by 2. The reason why I wrote it like this is because, observe, minus cos omega t is there, right? So we know that minus cos theta is equal to minus sine of pi by 2 minus theta. Okay. So if I push the minus sign inside, it becomes sine of theta minus pi by 2. So that is the reason why I wrote it as omega t minus pi by 2. So I will be equal to E naught divided by XL into sine of omega t minus pi by 2. And this E naught divided by XL will be equal to I naught. So I will be equal to I naught sine of omega t minus pi by 2. Okay. Now see. If I take this as E is equal to E naught sine omega t, then what will happen is, if I take I is equal to I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2, it will be like this. The reason is very simple. If I take this as omega t, this will be minus pi by 2. Okay. So that the whole, sorry, this will be minus pi by 2. So that this angle will be omega t minus pi by 2. Okay. So in this case, what will happen is current lags the voltage by pi by 2, or I can say the voltage leads current by pi by 2. Okay. Similarly, XL is equal to omega into L, where this XL is called as inductive reactance. Then this XL can also be written as 2 pi F into L, where F is the frequency of the input signal. So for DC, what will happen? F will be equal to 0. If you substitute it here, XL will be equal to 0, which implies inductor allows DC to pass through it. So inductor allows the direct current to pass through it, whereas it will oppose the alternating current to pass through it, because it will not accept the change of flux that is going to take place.
So can you scroll up?
Sure.
So it doesn't allow AC to pass through it, sir.
It does not, I'm saying it does not completely block AC, but it will resist AC more.
So it's like partially blocked.
Yeah, it will partially block because it will offer more amount of resistance. See, whereas a capacitor, what it will do, once the capacitor is fully charged, you cannot find any current flowing through the capacitor. That is, if you pass a direct current, see, for example, if there is a resistor, there is a capacitor, you connect this kind of a circuit across a device like this. Okay, capacitor is there, resistor is there. So what is the main job of a resistor, capacitor? The main job of a capacitor is to store charge in the form of electric field, right? So what happens is when this voltage is applied across this kind of a circuit, once the capacitor is fully charged, what will happen is it will become an open circuit. It will start offering infinite resistance to further flow of current, as a result of which the circuit is very much similar to this kind of a format. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Means a capacitor can be replaced with an open switch. Under what scenario? When it is connected across what kind of a source? When it is connected across a DC source. Whereas when you connect it across AC, it will allow the current to flow through. Whereas what will happen in the case of a resistor, case of an inductor is, if something is like this, I'm not trying to say that the inductor will become like an open switch. Sorry. I'm not trying to say that the inductor will become like an open switch. No. The inductor will allow the alternating current to flow through it, but what will happen? It will try to offer more amount of resistance. Why? Because the job of an inductor is to offer resistance to the change of current. You're able to understand? So this might be a one mark question. Okay. So this might be a one mark question. Good that you asked. You guys make a note of this. See, what does a resistor do? I think I've already told this. Resistor will oppose the flow of current. Correct, Kada? Resistor will oppose the flow of current. But what does an inductor do? Inductor opposes
of alternating current.
Yes, that is right. So alternating current means what is happening? Inductor opposes the rate of change of current. So that is the meaning. So instead of saying alternating current, you have to use the word inductor opposes the rate of change of current. This point you will find it nowhere in the textbook. Okay. I suggest you all to write it down, please. Inductor will oppose the rate of change of current. Okay, then what does a capacitor do? Capacitor will store charge. That's it. But in the case of a DC circuit, it is showing this kind of a phenomenon. So if a question is like this, suppose they ask this as a one mark question. Okay. See, generally the resistor and capacitor in series is not there for CBS. You have it for competitive exams, but very rarely they ask for. Sometimes here and there, if at all it comes. Okay. If R and C are connected in series, are you guys confident now that if you need to look at the source, once you look at the source, what will you say about the capacitor? The capacitor will become an open switch, right? And what is the reason for it? You suppose there's an assertion reason question, what will you write? They give an assertion like this. Capacitor is connected across a DC source, it becomes an open circuit. The reason, what will you say? What should be the correct reason?
Capacitor opposes DC current.
Reason? What is the reason? Capacitor opposes DC is fine. And why does it oppose? Because it offers infinite resistance, right? So what you told is right only, partially correct, but the exact reason is it offers infinite resistance to the direct source. And you know the reason why it is so, because XC is equal to 1 by omega C. In omega you have 2 pi F. Since F is 0, XC is 0. Have that point in your mind, guys. since you have these assertion reason questions. That is where the tricky part will be there. Okay. I hope I'm clear. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you plot a graph between XL and F, if you plot a graph between XL and F, how is the graph going to be? XL is equal to 2 pi F into L.
Sir, here L is the length of the inductor, no, sir?
Yeah, L is inductance.
Okay.
L is inductance. Seriya? So 2 pi F into C, where F is the frequency of whom? Frequency of the alternating source. Because we write E is equal to E naught sine omega t, right? But sine of omega is 2 pi F into T, correct? So that F is what I'm trying to talk about. So you're plotting a graph between the variation of inductive reactance versus the frequency. You look at the equation and tell me, no?
So the directly proportional, so it will be
Very good. So it will be a straight line. Very good. So I can write it as 2 pi L into F. XL is on y-axis is equal to something into F is on x-axis. So is it not of the format y is equal to mx? So y is equal to mx will be a straight line like this. Clear, guys? So there is a kind of graph that will occur when you plot it between XL and F. So the next part that you are going to see till now, if you observe, what did we do? We connected an alternating source across a resistor separately. We connected across an inductor separately and a capacitor separately. Right. Now what we will do is we will see the combination. So before I go to the combination, one point I wanted to mention here is the concept of opposition is over. You know what is opposition? Right? When current is trying to flow, there is some device which is trying to restrict the flow of it. Okay. So if it is a purely resistive device, so when I say purely resistive, what do you understand? Means in that whole circuit, there should only be resistors. Okay. So if there is a circuit in which there are completely resistor, we call it as a purely resistive circuit. So for purely resistive circuit, what is the name of the opposition? It is called as resistance. Whereas for a reactive device, what do you mean by reactive? What do you mean by reactive devices? So reactive devices are basically those devices which can store energy. So what are the electrical components that we know which can store energy? One is capacitor and inductor. So for reactive devices, we use the word reactance. Okay. So reactance is basically classified into two more types. What are they? Inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, depending on what kind of a passive element you have in your hand. Am I clear, guys? Now comes another important question. Now, what if I have a combination of a resistive and a reactive element? So the heading is AC source connected across a series RC circuit. So what happens when an AC source is connected across a series RC circuit? Resistor and capacitor are connected across an AC source. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. This is R and C. Here, our job is to find what is the value of resistance or opposition offered by this kind of an arrangement. Okay. Now see, I use the word series RC. There is a possibility that R and C can be connected in parallel also. Okay. So what comes to your mind when I use the word series? So what comes to your mind when we use the word series, guys?
Current is equal to this.
Very good. So current will be the same. So let's say the current supplied by this battery is I. Okay. So if I say the voltage across the resistor as VR, then the current across the resistor will be IR. And if I call the voltage across the capacitor as VC, then the current across the capacitor will be called as IC. Now observe, when I revisit the phasor diagram, this is E, this is I, right? Say they both are in.
இதுல நல்லா இருக்கு ஹோம் சென்டர்ல அழகா
Somebody
இருக்கிற
is-
மாதிரி அந்த பாஸ்கெட் டைப் அதெல்லாம் வாங்கி
Hello.
அடியில வைக்கணும்.
Listen. So EMF and current are in the same phase when you connect it across a resistor, correct? When you connect an AC source across a capacitor, how is the EMF and the current? So EMF is like this, current is like this, correct? Guys, are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the voltage across the capacitor, this is the current across the capacitor. Means observe, in the case when R and C are connected in series, let's say the current flowing here is equal to I only. So if this is IR, can I say that the current through the capacitor is also I? So if if VR is taken horizontally, I will also be taken horizontally across the resistor. And across the case of a capacitor, what will happen if I take this as I, then how will VC be? VC will be in this direction. Accepted?
So you can explain again, sir.
Yeah. So if I is like this, guys, observe. I'm taking VR as the reference. Okay. So if VR is horizontal, according to the phasor diagram, how should the current across the resistor be? That will also be horizontal. Okay. So if IR is the current, okay, IR is a name, that's it. Let's say it is 2 ampere. If IR is a current that is flowing through the resistor, can I say the same value IR will flow through the capacitor also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then with respect to the current across the capacitor, how will the voltage be? Will it not be lagging? So we know that voltage lags the current across the capacitor by pi by 2. So you're able to understand? So VR and VC are out of phase by 90 degrees. So here, what is that I'm taking the reference as? Am I taking the voltage as reference or current as reference? What is the base physical? So I took the current as the reference. With respect to current, I understood how the voltage is. But the question is, why did I take the current as reference? Because it is a series RC. So in series, current will be the same. Okay. So if I plot a graph like this, I plot a phasor diagram, where this is VR, then how will VC be? VC will be in this direction. So if VR is making an angle omega t with the x-axis, I mean, yeah, correct. then the angle that is going to make here is omega t minus pi by 2, and this angle will be pi by 2 in the clockwise direction. Okay, this is an important point to be noted. I repeat, this omega t, then this will be 90 degrees, where this is called as VC. Now, if you observe, VR and VC are co-initial vectors. So, how is the resultant going to be? The resultant will be something like this. So, if I call that resultant as V, then how can I write that V as? V will be equal to square root of VR square plus VC square plus 2 times VR into VC into cos of 90 degrees. Am I clear with this point, guys? And this V is called as the effective value or the RMS value. Okay, this is the root mean square value. And this value is equal to how much? Root of IR the whole square plus I into XC the whole square plus 0, because cos 90 is going to give you a 0. So V effective, as of now, I'm not disturbing it. So have this in your mind. I into root of R square plus XC square is nothing but the value of V effective. Now, if two resistors are connected in parallel, recollect the concept. When two resistors are connected in series, in current electricity chapter, what did we do? We replaced those two resistors with one resistor, and we called it as an equivalent resistor. Am I right? In a similar way, if you have a resistor and a capacitor connected in series, then you can replace these two devices. Like, for example, this has resistance and this has reactance, right? So the effective value of resistance and reactance put together is what is called as impedance. Means what I can say is this particular electrical circuit behaves in such a way that it has an equivalent resistance or impedance value of something. So that I will call it as I into Z. Okay. Where this I and I will get cancelled, and the Z is what is called as impedance, and Z will be equal to square root of R square plus XC square.
Sir, what is the application of it, sir? Application of this impedance.
Application. You have many applications. Like
You
have
this
an
problem.
problem that I'll tell you. Problem you need not worry about. So this is happening in real time. So problem you don't worry. That is my headache. I'll teach you how to do those problems.
Then
Okay.
here VC lags VR by pi by 2, right?
Sorry, ma. VC.
VC lags VR by pi by 2.
Yeah. VC lags VR by pi. That's right.
Okay.
But generally we don't use lagging or leading between the same physical quantity. There we used it because it was between voltage and current.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 minute, could you show the graphs for the circuit?
Diagram. Huh?
Yes.
Sir, how to represent this impedance in the circuit, sir?
Just put it as a Z. That's it. You need not draw the diagram. There is no symbol for it.
Thank you, sir.
Like how you have a symbol for resistor and capacitor, inductor, you don't have a symbol for impedance.
Okay, sir.
can just write it as z is equal to root of r square plus x square. So using the same logic, guys, I want you all to think for what will happen when an AC source is connected across. What will happen when AC source is connected across series RL circuit.
So will it be root of r square plus xl square, sir?
That's right. But how is the phasor diagram going to be? E will be equal to E naught sine omega t. This is R, this is L. So how will we start? If the voltage, okay, I will start with current. If the current across the resistor is IR, how is the voltage with respect to the current in resistor? It is in phase. So they both will be parallel. So if I take the current across the inductor as IR with respect to the current across the inductor, how is the voltage? Go check the phasor diagram for AC source connected across inductor and tell me.
Is it vertical, sir?
Vertical is right. Is it upward or downward? Check it, no? It is
Above,
upward.
I thought.
It is upward because voltage leads the current by pi by 2. Or current lags the voltage by pi by 2 in the case of an inductor. So what will happen? So IR is like this. Current will lag the voltage by pi by 2. So this will be VL. Okay. Now when you draw the phasor diagram, what will happen? If this is VR, then this will be VL. Better? Such that VR makes an angle omega t and VL makes an angle omega t plus pi by 2. So if I take this angle, it will be pi by 2. So VR and VL are again co-initial vectors. So the V effective value is going to be root of VR square plus VL square. Okay, what is value of V effective? I can call it as IZ is equal to root of IR the whole square plus I into XL the whole square. So if I take out I common, Z will be equal to root of R square plus XL square. Correct? So Z will be equal to root of R square plus XL square. Okay. Now, I would like to introduce you to one of the triangles, which I will explain its motion. So, if the question is, how much is the angle made by the resultant with the resistance voltage? So, if I take this angle as phi, okay, if I take this angle as phi, then observe, I am drawing VR like this. So, with respect to VR, VL is like this. They both are perpendicular. Right? I hope you guys are able to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if I call this as V, and if this angle is taken as phi, so V will be equal to how much? I into Z. VR will be equal to I into R, and VL will be equal to I into XL. Right. Now observe. If I draw an arrow mark exactly parallel to just a minute, guys. So if I draw an arrow mark exactly parallel, okay, exactly parallel to VL, then how much will this value be? Will it not be VL according to the concept of equal vectors? VL will be equal to I into XL, and this VR will be equal to I into R, and V effective will be equal to I into Z. Now you guys tell me, what is tan phi from this triangle? Tan phi will be equal to I into XL divided by I into Z. I and I will get cancelled. It will be XL. It will be XL divided by Z. Then what about cos phi, guys? Cos phi will be equal to IR divided by IZ. I and I will get cancelled. This will be equal to R by Z. So this cos phi is equal to the ratio of resistance by the impedance is what is called as power factor, which we will see in the subsequent topics. But as of now, remember this. So the formula R by Z is called as cos phi. It is the same for an AC source connected across a series RL circuit, an AC source connected across an series RC circuit, or an AC source connected across a series RLC circuit. Okay. So remember this formula, cos phi is equal to R divided by Z is called as the power factor. Okay. This is used in problems also. So have this in your mind.
So won't tan phi be VL PR?
No, XL by
I-
I. It should be XL by R.
Sir, but the side opposite to the angle is the hypotenuse, no, sir? The
That
side opposite
opposite.
to theta.
Is the opposite. This is adjacent. This is
Yes, sir,
hypotenuse is the long side opposite to what?
So the side opposite.
Side opposite to angle is opposite.
Yes, sir. It
Adjacent.
should be the hypotenuse, no, sir?
This is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle, which is the slanting side. So tan phi is equal to XL divided by R. It is opposite by adjacent, no? Okay. So these are all the points, guys. Remember all these. The next important topic that we are going to discuss is series RLC circuit. For this, you need these basics, okay? Because then you will understand. From there are certain important terms that we'll be discussing. So ensure you study all these things before coming to tomorrow's class. So it's called as an LCR series circuit. Okay. So I'll see you all in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.